Yarnchix Podcast is about to start. This is Yarnchix Podcast episode number 17. Come on in. Let's begin. I am Mimi. I am a podcast host living in Berlin, Germany, and today is the last day of May, so I've just about managed to record a second episode this month. That is around how often I record, about every 2 weeks. Make it 3, I reckon. And I knit a lot. I sew a little, I garden a bit. I have 3 kids. That is how I came up with this whole Magic 3 Make Along idea. I'm hosting that in the Yarnchix Podcast Ravelry group. There is a lot about it on Instagram where I am lead-wed, but also this podcast has a humble small Instagram account called Yarnchix_podcast. So you're welcome to come and find me in all those places. Ravelry has become my new sort of more chatty, more writey place, as well as Patreon, where I have a page, an artist page. You can support me with as little as $1 a month and read my blog there. You can support me with 3 and watch a vlog about podcasting, my travel vlogs, as well as sort of net chatter behind the scenes to this podcast. I am recording this mainly because I've just hosted the giveaway for the new book by Anna Maltz called Marlisle, A New Direction in Knitting, and Anna generously supported the podcast with this book for a podcast giveaway, and I mainly ran it through Ravelry this time. I know I'm gonna change that up a bit for the next giveaway because it's a bit complicated. Only a few people use Ravelry and I forgot that. But also, I love Ravelry, so maybe I was trying to entice you to come over and have a look at all the stuff and all the chatter. I asked the question, what would you knit first from this book? So I'm gonna use random.org now to draw a prize, to draw the winner and read you the question about that. So I'm gonna move on over to my computer. Okay, wait for that. to quickly do the Marlisle, A New Direction in Knitting book giveaway. So the book is by Anna Maltz and it's all to do with Marlisle. Okay, you know that. So we had 18 entries, so I'm going to put true random number generator 1 till 18. I've got all the entries open, actually, with some nice photos added in even. Amazing! I know not many of you joined in, but I guess that is actually making it more likely that you're watching this now and you might win something. So in a way, there you go, 1 till 18. I'm going to press generate. I'm not even sure if you can see it there, but I'm going to pick up the camera and move it around to show you what the result is. So I'm going to go to generate. Or maybe I should use my phone. You'll be alright. You'll trust me, right? Generate. Number 7. So I'm going to move the camera closer. So there, put 1 to 18, result number 7. So let's go back to this. Number 7, relatively early on. The book was won by Lisa. Erica Eccles is entry number 7. So this book goes to Lisa, who is Erica Eccles on Instagram and on Ravelry, and I'm so pleased she's actually supporting me with the Magic 3 make-along, and fancy that, you've won the book! I'm gonna turn over and read you her answer, because the question was which one of the patterns would you knit first from the book Marlisle, A New Direction in Knitting, and Lisa answered, I think it would have to be the Ruperto scarf because I adored Rupert the Bear so much when I was a little girl. But I would want to knit the trembling jumper once I'd be more confident to make things. Confident with colour work, I think she means. And it makes me think of a sewing pattern, so Ruperto and then trembling. Trembling is on my list as well. So I'm very happy to send you the book. Coming your way right away! Congratulations! So now let's begin the proper podcast. I'm going to sit back a bit. Sorry, I was a bit... I have one finished object, which I'm sure you have seen the photograph of, or if you watch this podcast, you've seen me show the swatch. It was a test knit for Chris.Berlin, who is a local designer and friend. And this jacket is called the Twice cardigan. I think I should zoom out. I don't know. Ooh, zooming in. Zooming out. It has these pockets, and I knitted the I-cord at the bottom of the pocket to make it lay flat, but see what's happening at the moment, this is coming out. So I'm thinking I can fix that by putting a button on here and fixing that, but I still haven't done that. All in all, it's this amazing slip stitch pattern, and I love it. I knitted it out of Birlinn Yarn Company, Hebridean. It's sort of like a marled black and white yarn, and the whiter yarn, which creates these stripes, is Brooklyn Tweed. Brooklyn Tweed shelter. And this coat is fun because you can wear it both way around. You can also turn the pockets inside out, which is very, very clever. So when you turn the pocket this way, it lays better. But again, here you have the I-cord detail at the top. Oh, I haven't turned that one in. So it's, you know, you've got these sort of fun details about making it reversible that sort of stand out in the same sort of style that stand out as a feature. Mimi. Okay, I'm very happy. I finished on time, ready to give feedback. I hope my feedback was helpful. I'm not one of those people who picks the pattern apart. I just sort of generally end up having ideas of what to do. Like, I made the pockets much wider, which in hindsight I could have left to the original size, because now that it's quite long they tend to gape open. But again, I think 2 small buttons that can be frizzled into the stitches could sort that out and flatten out the pocket. I love the construction. I love how the slip stitch pattern and the reversible sort of design plays. It's quite a playful knit actually, and yeah, I'm very happy I got to test knit this for Chris. I had goosebumps when I first saw this coat in her bag, and she was saying she needed more yarns. I think she bought the newsprint shelter and the fossil shelter. I think 2 more skeins each for the sleeves at Birlinn where I work, and I was super happy when she said I could test knit. It's very warm today, so I'm gonna take it out. I'm wearing the Mount Pleasant top, which I knitted in linen last summer, my summer holiday project. Scenery shot of when I was at the shepherd's hut and blocked the amazing Twice cardigan. I just had to change cameras because the battery ran out. Technicalities. That was actually the last vlog I recorded for Patreon, was all about the cameras. So I introduced this camera and the other one and their pros and cons. I guess I should talk about battery, the task of charging batteries before you start recording. So the next vlog could be that. Let's carry on. My current almost finished object lives in this amazing bag by Ute. I bought this in Edinburgh, where these bags were sold at the Hey Mama Wolf stall where I was selling, and I'm so happy. It's avocado dyed linen, and this bag, since Edinburgh, holds the Meadowsweet shawl. The Meadowsweet shawl is a pattern from the book A Wool Journey, and a Fancy Tiger Crafts collaboration. I think they took quite a few designers and creatives from the woolly world to the Shetland Islands, and this is sort of like a classic Shetland Island design shoulder wrap. I love this shawl. I knitted this with yarns that I bought at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival event, Meet the Shepherd, Meet the Shepherdess. It was like a Sunday event, it was my day off, and I added all the yarn that I bought that day into this one shawl. And I am so in love with this. I can't wait to finish it. This top I knitted, and I'm gonna try and also shoot some close-ups of this and add them in here whilst I talk. So the top yarn is Black Isle yarns, and it is the squishiest first shearing. I adore it. I know that it was part of the wool exploration by Knit British, Louise Scully, and others have, you know, probably got much more amazing things to say about this, or qualified. All I want to say is I love the lemony, woolly smell. I love its bounce. I love the spunness of it. It's sort of like a loose, almost feels like a hand spun bounce. Yeah, love it. The I-cord bind off at the top, and then the first colour in the lace, as all the lace, is New Leaf Yarns. That is also a Scottish brand based in Edinburgh, and alpaca wool blend, and I faded this sort of first light colour, which is very related to the Black Isle yarn colour but slightly darker, over into a even more sort of coffee-ish, milky tea beige. I don't know if you can see it. And then the scalloped edge is knitted in a grey by them. If you watch the last podcast, you will see me raving about these yarns and how amazing it is to know the actual names of the alpacas. And then the picot edge, I used mid blue by Hawkshaw sheep. And so these were the three brands that I bought at Edinburgh Yarn Festival: Black Isle Yarns, New Leaf Yarns, and Hawkshaw sheep. And it was just a mini, 20 grams. And I did the picot edge, but I added a row of normal knit stitches because I thought that's what I'll need in the blue. Yet I ran out of my yarn. Heart broken. I wanted to then buy another mini skein online because picot edge takes years and years of knitting back and fro in one little spot, and it makes these nice little toothy bits. I'm not even sure if I did it right, and I was just confident thinking I'd had enough. I did run out. So now I'm gonna frog the whole picot edge, pick up all the stitches again, and not have this row of blue stitches before the picot edge cast off. Just basically work the cast off from grey straight to blue, and then I should have exactly these stitches. It will basically have, you know, ends maybe that long, but I don't mind. I've calculated with a friend that it should work out. Linda was like, how many have you got left? And because she was there, we were garden knitting together, and Linda, that was actually quite helpful to go, why don't you count how much? It should just work. I've counted and recounted. So that's what I'm gonna do to finish this part of the shawl. The good thing is, like this, at least I get a bit of a brief idea what it will be like when it's finished. I get to try it on. I get to see the look of it and have a bit of a pretend FO before casting off and getting there. Maybe I should just wear this like a pretend FO. I can't wait. I think I'm gonna try and actually just do that now that I've shown you I can. The other whips in my collection.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. A step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me.
I have the S shawl on my needles. And finally I had a delivery, because I'm at this stage where I should be going to a smaller length needle, smaller needles. Not DPN stage yet. The S shawl is also from the book Marlisle, A New Direction in Knitting, and I'm happy to announce that we have had several finished objects in the SAHELKAL thread on my Ravelry page, so I'm super pleased. In the Ravelry group I have a couple of knit-alongs, and there is one for the S shawl. I absolutely love my S shawl, but I ran out of yarn, and I ran out of yarn at a funny point. So the whole design will change again, because as you can see, this isn't a whole repeat, it sort of ended before. So I think I will add shorter stripes now, but it's gonna be some sort of like an ombre fade. And I now have more alpacca yarns, Tamar. Ha! I can continue. I shall finish. There is about, so there will be 7 stripes, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2/3. So as the stitches decrease in numbers, it will go faster and faster, and then I will steek at this place, in this area. I will cut and unravel the knit stitches that are in between the steeks and create the fringe. Very excited about this. Anna Maltz's designs are always clever and fun in that way. I've knitted quite a few of her designs. I'm not going to say I've knitted this, that, that. It'd be a long list by now. And I always enjoy the playful finishing or playful thinking. So I'm very happy. And I'm very happy that others are knitting along, and it's sort of a friendly atmosphere. If you're into the idea, or if you're a book owning or big book ordering character and you want to have a go at one of her Marlisle patterns, come over to Knit the S Shawl with us. Very pleased with that advancing, and that I can carry on now that I've got that order come through from Black Yarns, because I was so looking forward to hold my Leoness. I waited, I think, 3 weeks. Oh. So there is always a bit of a budget issue with me in my knitting, and so I had to wait till the 1st of May or maybe 5th of May before I could actually order and afford buying more yarn. So the whole order was delayed, and the knit along has already started. But knit alongs are not just for starting, finishing, rushing through, they're also for the process. And I sort of had to admit to myself, oh, that was my timer. I had to admit to myself that I had to wait until I could buy my yarn. This yarn is Black Leoness in the colorway Dark Pearl, and I have already swatched, because as soon as this arrived I was ready. I had sharpened my needles, I had waited and twiddled my thumbs. I had gone, oh, when is it gonna get here, for 2-3 weeks. So I was super ready. This is my mini swatch, and I've got to admit, I've got gauge. This is knit on a 3mm needle, and it will, this is the right way around, I think, it will become, so this swatch is a stitch pattern swatch for the pattern SAHELKAL by and she is Oysters and Pearl SAHELKAL, published in the book Making Stories, well, by Making Stories in the book Breeze. I have to show you the page at the top. Maybe you've already seen, or maybe I've already yaddied on about this in the last podcast, because I think I announced that I was going to knit this here, this amazing top, the Sahel top. The design Sahel top is by Amber Platzer Corcoran, and I'm so excited. And I can co-host together as part of the Making Storiesbreezekal, as part of their knit along. We're doing like a little mini knit along. She's the designer and we're both friends, and I love her yarns. She is Oyster Pearls on Instagram, and she came up with this amazing pattern. You might have seen the funny shape of my swatch. It is basically doubling up as a little summer top for the penguin, because I'm also hosting the Magic 3 Make Along, and I wanted to make this into a mini top. I can't wait to show you once it's done. So this swatch is doubling up as another summer top for our little penguin. It will be a bit like this, and similar to this, it will have the I cord. It's perfect, it fits. So Penguin will also get 3 new bits of clothes and toys as part of the Magic 3 Make Along, because I haven't knit the tuxedo for the penguin, so that is another thing that will be knitted as part of the Magic 3 Make Along. I've just gone completely silly because I was talking about the Sahel top, the SAHELKAL, and I am super stoked. It's the 1st of June. It is the time that I'm gonna cast on. So as part of the cast on party, I'm hosting a Breeze book giveaway. So let's say party, it's a cast on party. I'm gonna cast on the Sahel with Black Yarns Lyonnaise, and you can tell me what's your cast on party. Do you have anything that you're casting on right now? Is it something from this book? Is it something for the Magic 3 Make Along? Write down your cast on party comment. Yeah, write a cast on party comment for my Sahel top cast on party, because I've got gauge, so I'm gonna cast on. I'm very, very, very super excited to make this top alongside Amber. Breeze making story, just tell me your cast on party trick. What you're casting on now. Let's have a cast on party and tell us all about it down in the comments. I am super happy knitting on all my Magic 3 mals, and my cast on party for Sahel top will be tomorrow, 1st of June, when I think this short episode will go online. I'm gonna upload Friday, which is when I'm gonna start the ribbing of the top. I'm so excited. I think my camera is about to cut out. And so it did. So now I'm recording on my phone just to make a complete, utter mess of this podcast. But there you go. It's just like in my Patreon video about all my tips. I've got to listen to my own advice. I am super happy that there will be a cast on party, and last but not least, because it is actually one of my favorite things currently, is the Magic 3 Make Along. The Magic 3 Make Along is basically us all making 3 things for a kid: a top, some bottoms, and a toy. And we've got the amazing help of Lisa, who is Erica Eccles, with the quilting. If you are into the idea of quilting, that is not like you don't have to quilt for our projects, but I have got a great big project growing on my needles, and she sent me these squares and set me up, and she sets us all up with advice and support with quilting if we're into it. I'm gonna quilt a little to complete this set. I'm gonna quilt a little sleeping bag for this penguin, because my daughter loves playing, like camping with all her little toys, and Pinga will have a sleeping bag, a summer top, and a skirt. So that is gonna be the set for Pinga. I'm gonna try and add in a little drawing for that, and I have cast on a cardigan. So that is my last current whip, is this Anker's Jacke in amazing Tulliver yarn. I love this yarn. It's really, really gently plant dyed with black walnut, I think walnut leaves, and it's only a certain time of year that Elke dyes this. Elke, who runs Tulliver Yarn, is a dear friend of mine, and I ordered this at the end of last year, so in September last year, at the end of last year's Magic 3 Make Along, and I never cast on this cardigan. So I'm sort of really slowly knitting backwards and forwards for the body, and just love this textured stitch yoke, and it fits, and it will be a staple, and it's squishy soft, and my daughter agrees. It's too hot at the moment for her to try on, so I'm waiting for the right time so that I can do a little size test, but I reckon, I say it fits, it will fit, and it lives in my amazing bag from the Secret Valentines. I love this. Catherine, or Catherine, maybe you would say in English. Catherine, I want to say. I love this bag. So that's all my whips. I'm gonna try and film a little bit around my Magic 3 make along mess, but I'm gonna say goodbye and I'm gonna leave you with a bit of Magic 3 make along maker's mess, maker's ideas, and another little bit of the sort of brief invitation. It's all free for you to interpret what a top, the bottoms and a toy is for your set. I'm gonna knit the cardigan and make a skirt or shorts. There's a great free pattern by Pearl Soho. They're like gym shorts. Their site is actually quite a good place to look for children's patterns, so you could go and check that out. And I wanted to make a little cotton rabbit, like a little bunny actually. I've made the mouse last year and I felt like making the bunny, but all that could change. I'm happy to create different sets. And also, again, and last but not least, one of the things that I still want to finish from my last year projects is this plesiosaur. And I've cut all the fabric. It has the main body will be in blue, and the contrast is, you know, this camera will go crazy for it. It's sort of an orangey red and it's hard to show, especially if you see the red lamp. It doesn't really show. Maybe in the dark it will show more than, but yeah, I had the advice in our group that I should slow stitch, as in hand sew this, and that makes complete sense to me, because I think the reason is this is still like that, a pile of pieces, is because I got scared of sewing it together with the sewing machine, because the sewing machine tends to run away with me. So I'm excited to hand stitch, and I'm practicing that with my quilting. And this plesiosaurus, which is a part of a Butterick vintage pattern, Prehistoric Pets, and it says designed by prehistoric people. Absolutely love it. I'm prehistoric. Now I've got a dash to work. I'm also a prehistoric person. I like things that, like this great shoulder wrap. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good once I've finished it. I've got to wrap it up. I'm gonna dash to work after filming a little bit of scenery and taking you around something or another for a knit reportage. I don't actually know what that will be. Just hang around. And thank you so much for coming and watching, and I hope you feel into the idea of joining me knitting in the make along for the Magic 3 items. I'm making 3 items for magically 3 children. So I'm making 9 items or more, but I think it's small things and I feel inspired to try everything. Oh, actually I'm making 3 for this as well, so that would be 12. But these will be tiny. It's not like at all like how many things can you do in how short a time. The opposite. Let's take it slow and just inspire one another. I have the great support. I started talking about Lisa with the quilting, Fran with the toy making, Cynthia with pattern sewing. So I'm gonna also try some pattern sewing from Cynthia's help, and that's it. So there's 4: Fran with the toy making, Cynthia with the pattern sewing, and Lisa who's supporting with the quilting, and me. I'm just gonna be like hosting and maybe gathering some prizes and listening to all your ideas, and I feel ultra inspired. Some amazing things have already happened in this first month. The make along runs until the 1st of October, so there is definitely a lot of time. Go check it out on Ravelry. Okay, see you soon, bye!